Hi guys, welcome to Prelims Affairs, where we discuss issues from prelims perspective. Today the topic that we will discuss is critical minerals or strategic minerals. The government has declared 30 critical minerals, and as you know, minerals is an important theme for prelims, hence you have to have a good all-round knowledge about these minerals. Okay, the government in July 2023 identified 30 minerals as critical minerals, and after identifying these 30 minerals as critical minerals, it amended its Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 and amended and brought in what we call as MMDR Amendment Act 2023, that's Mine and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act 2023, where it empowered the central government to auction blocks of these minerals. So the central government can auction the blocks of these critical minerals to private entities, and that is what was the amendment that was included in the MMDR Amendment Act of 2023, amending the original MMDR Act 1957. Now the 30 critical minerals are important. They can ask you this in your prelims because they usually ask what are the minor minerals, major minerals. Now they can ask you what are these 30 critical minerals, and you should have a very good idea of these 30 minerals, and they are as follows. The first is antimony, the second beryllium, third bismuth, fourth cobalt, then comes copper, gallium, germanium, graphite, hafnium, indium, lithium, molybdenum, niobium, nickel, PGE, that is platinum group elements, phosphorus, potash, rare earth elements, rhenium, silicon, strontium, tantalum, tellurium, tin, titanium, tungsten, vanadium, zirconium, selenium, and cadmium. Okay, few minerals are exceptionally important that because they are in news. For example, tantalum was recently in news because they found this deposits in the Sutlej river, and graphite is in news because they have found graphite in Sri Lanka, which India is trying to get from Sri Lanka to India, because graphite is very, very important. So like that, every mineral has its own significance and they are in news, but overall you should have an idea of all these minerals that have been declared as critical minerals. Okay. Also, the government, for the first time after amending the MMDR Amendment Act 2023, it has brought in the first ever auction of critical minerals. It has offered 20 blocks for sale to private sectors. This actually will incentivize as well as accentuate the pace of mining of these critical minerals, because critical minerals help in two different things. One, it helps us dominate the electronic sector. The second is it helps us achieve our climate goals that we have promised in our Paris Agreement. So if we have to push our renewable energy, if we have to reduce our carbon emissions, then having a dominance over these critical minerals is very, very important. And thence this is a very, very progressive step taken by the government of India. Okay, now the first ever bidding that has started, this bidding is based on the highest percentage of mineral dispatch value quoted by the bidder. I'll repeat again, the bidding is based on the highest percentage of mineral dispatch value quoted by the bidders. Okay, then the Geological Survey of India is also actively exploring critical minerals across the country. Okay, along with this, let me tell you how we are lagging behind in our critical minerals. If we take lithium, cobalt, nickel, vanadium, niobium, germanium, rhenium, and beryllium, all these minerals, India is 100% dependent on imports. Okay, we are completely dependent on imports when we take all these minerals that I have just stated. Now this shows that we have to, in a way, improve a much greater extent when it comes to mining of our critical minerals. Hence, it is a very positive move that we are undertaking. Now, with this, let me also give you some sense of the distribution of critical minerals around the world. If you take Australia, Australia has 55% of the world's lithium resources. If you take China, China has 60% of the world's rare earth elements. If you take Democratic Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo has around 75% of the world's cobalt. Indonesia has world's 35% nickel, and Chile has the world's 30% of copper resources. So overall, this is the distribution of important critical minerals around the world from Australia to Chile. So I hope you understood this. This itself can come in the exam, hence you should have a very good idea about it. Now to just give you an idea of processing capacity and the dominance of China in the processing capacity of these critical minerals, China, with respect to processing capacity of the critical minerals, China processes 35% of the world's nickel, 50 to 70% of lithium, and nearly 90% of rare earth elements. So the processing capacity of China when it comes to these critical minerals are very, very high. 90% of rare earth elements are processed in China. The companies in America will mine the rare earth elements, send it to China to process them. Imagine the dominance that China has when it comes to processing capacity. Now, because China is so dominant when it comes to resources as well as the processing capacity of critical minerals, they have organized an institution called Mineral Security Partnership, MSP. This Mineral Security Partnership is a partnership that is led by USA, and India is also part of the Mineral Security Partnership. It is, as the name suggests, to embrace the security of minerals for all the countries of the world. Basically, what it does is, it is important, or the main job of this MSP is to bolster the critical mineral supply chain around the world, in order to break the dominance of China and to make sure that the critical minerals are supplied throughout the world without any type of obstacles or challenges in the supply chain. This Mineral Security Partnership is enacted, or has been brought up. Okay, now it has countries like Australia, Canada, Sweden and Norway, which have very good deposits of critical minerals. It also has countries like Japan and South Korea, which have very good processing capacities. But the challenge of Mineral Security Partnership is it does not have countries like Chile, Democratic Republic of Congo, Indonesia, which are rich in critical minerals. However, the basic premise of MSP, as I told you, is something called friend shoring instead of outsourcing. So friend shoring is basically moving the manufacturing from those dominant authoritarian states to those nations that are having friendly relationship with one another. So that is the main idea of Mineral Security Partnership. So we are going to have a partnership that will give us security with respect to mineral supply, and it will not create any type of an obstacle within our supply chain ecosystem for the supply of critical minerals. Is what is the idea behind the Mineral Security Partnership. Finally, India, in order to increase its critical mineral supply, has established an institution called KABIL. KABIL means Khanij Videsh India Limited. So this institution is a joint venture of three important PSUs. The one is NALCO, that is National Aluminium Company. The next is HCL, that is Hindustan Copper Limited. And the last is MECL, that is Mineral Exploration Consultancy Limited. So they three have come together to create what we call as Khanij Videsh India Limited, that is known as KABIL. This institution is in charge to identify, explore, acquire, develop and procure strategic minerals outside India for supplying primarily to India. Okay, so basically they are in charge of searching these critical minerals outside India, and once they search, they'll acquire that and they'll try to mine and supply it back to India. So that is the main job of KABIL or Khanij Videsh India Limited. So these are different steps taken by the government of India in order to embolden or in order to increase the supply of critical minerals in India, as we know that it plays a very critical role, that these minerals are important for us to increase our dominance in the semiconductor industry, to increase our dominance in electronic industry, and more importantly, to make sure our fight against climate change stays alive and we are able to achieve the targets that we have promised in our Paris Agreement. Minerals is an important theme in prelims, and I hope I was helpful, and I hope you will learn this properly so that you can answer the question in prelims. I'll be back again with another issue, guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.